everyone.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Cantor, I like to know that you're just down the hall.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, I like knowing that Rabbi Singer is like just down the street, and that Rabbi Gelman's just beyond the neighborhood.
I'm in the great north.
We literally, so if you took all of our arms right now and did this, we're pretty much like wrapping our arms around.
Aww.
Hey guys.
You know, and we're like, and we're hugging everybody in the vicinity.
Oh, right. Exactly. Rabbi Singer, I think you have something special that you're going to share with us today.
Well, speaking of hugging everybody in the vicinity, I feel like
from a distance.
Yes, exactly. Our whole country and our whole world needs a really big hug right now, as we have for the last many months. But I think this week we passed 10 million cases of coronavirus in the United States, and I know it's really Illinois is really a hot spot right now. So I'm just really thinking of our community and our people and our country, because it's a scary moment. It's hard to see those numbers continue to go up. And so I wanted to talk specifically about Bikur Cholim, because Bikur Cholim are the rules or laws for visiting the sick. And there are these our tradition is full of these incredible ideas about how do we take care of sick people. But we can't really visit people right now, which is really hard. But there are other ways that we can take care of each other. One of the ideas of Bikur Cholim that is listed in the Talmud is this idea that caring for a sick person, doing an act of care, takes away 1/60th of their illness. And so that this idea that it does have any kind of outreach, whatever it is, does have some kind of emotional impact on that person. You know, we know that we can't cure people's illnesses by being nice and caring and that kind of thing, but we can have some kind of impact. And there are these other ideas that, you know, we should really think about what that person needs, right? The Talmud tells us you shouldn't visit early in the morning or late at night, because early in the morning, the person might be kind of groggy, might be still kind of not looking their best. And late at night, when you're not feeling well, you know, you tend to feel worse. So we're just thinking about what is the person, when you're sick, what do you need? What do you want from other people? And in a world where we can be there for each other in limited ways, what are ways that we can do Bikur Cholim? So what are ways that people have done some kind of caring act for you, even if it's not visiting you in person?
That last part of the question took me for a surprise, because the last part of that question was the easiest part. So I'm excited to get to that, about who has done something special for you. But I also, when I think about Bikur Cholim, I really deeply think about this 1/60th principle. It is a principle like throughout Talmud of like 1/60th. It's like a tiny, tiny little bit, but the idea is like, if I could as a person who's healthy at this moment in the hour of the day, I can hold 1/60th of your suffering. It's not going to weigh me down so much. But for the person who is ill, it really, that extra little bit really helps so much. And so, especially at this time, I'm really thinking about the ways that we reach out, the ways that we might have some Zoom fatigue, but how nice it is for that person when we set up Zoom calls with our friends and family who are in need of those. But the last part of your question that really got me was, you said, what is something that someone has done for you? And that question always brings one particular gift basket to mind for me. Mayan and I, we had some real difficulties in our life, and Rabbi Conover comes to our door with everything we needed. Like, there was the perfect gift basket. It had a blanket, it had like instant oatmeal, and like just like really homey nice things that were just the perfect thing for like sitting at home and like sitting in like the difficulty. And so that is something that I always think about, is like a really well thoughtful, curated gift basket.
I've gotten some pretty sweet things from Rabbi Conover too. She is very, very good at knowing what one needs at the exact moment. But I was thinking, Rabbi Singer, you made me think of my Aunt Ellen. So I have all my family mostly in Laguna Beach, California. They're all huddled around in there. One sister out of the three sisters among my mother went with her artist husband to Laguna Beach. And then the other sister went there, and they all said, come on down to Laguna. But my mom was stuck singing opera in New York. So there I was. But my Aunt Ellen was the head of nursing of one of the big hospitals downtown in Laguna Beach. And in college in particular, she'd kind of done it my whole life, lovingly inserted herself into every medical issue that was going on in the family at all times. But I remember specifically, I was very sick in college. I was in the hospital for something. I don't even know what it was for, but I remember it was late at night. I had been battling all day with the doctors about difficulties with things. I needed medication, and kind of like that give my daughter the shot terms of endearment moment. Not everyone will know that phrase, but I remember sitting in the hospital room and hearing a doctor outside in the hallway. I was like half mortified, half amazed. And he was arguing with my Aunt Ellen. And I could hear that she was fighting for me, she just was going to bat for me. And I remember like that look on the doctor's face when he came in my room, and he was like, I just got off the phone with your aunt. And he was just completely defeated. It was incredible. And I just remember that great feeling, So yeah, that definitely was a 1/60th of quite a journey. So my Aunt Ellen, God bless her.
God, I love that. I love this. And I have to say that right now, the way that you ended the prompt when you shared it with us, Rabbi Singer, was another thing that I loved, which is, when have you felt cared for by someone from afar? And I love that too. And I was thinking about, I love the passage that you shared, Rabbi Singer, about the 1/60th. And I also love that other piece about, that if somebody can't go into a service because they're not feeling well and they're homebound, well, what you could do is everyone can pray at the same time. And there's something right now where I just feel like it feels like being cared for, knowing when our community, when we're not all together, but we're all praying at the same time in whatever way we are. It just, there's something that it feels cared for in that. And I think a lot about feeling like being cared for from afar in this time of feeling like, one is that from afar, like I feel like God is always, to me, both from afar and also, intimately, like right here. And I feel God right here when I feel other people. And I have to say, like the phone calls I've gotten a lot more like handwritten notes in the last, few months. And those also feel so personally touching. Like I feel like that care from afar. And I also have to say, in a time of making big decisions in ways where, sometimes it feels a little unprecedented. And I feel like some of the wisest people in my life have passed on from this world, mainly my parents. that I feel sometimes cared for from them from afar, when I can kind of draw on their wisdom and the ways that they've done things in times that were critically important, and also felt like they were navigating something new in our own family life. And I'll tell you, that I feel cared for by my parents when I can really conjure gratitude for the smallest things. Like then I feel like, and then I feel cared for, because it feels like, like with that gratitude within, and then like I'm noticing things that I wouldn't notice otherwise because I'm grateful. And then I feel like I'm seeing this world through my parents' grateful eyes, and I feel that kind of care. And I have to say also, working with people like the three of you and like the leaders at Temple Sholom, don't you feel just like so cared for, like that we have each other, that I revel in the wisdom of you, and the caring of you. And I feel like we together in this community, it often feels like we are both leading and being held at the same time. And that's magnificent. So I thank you for this prompt, Rabbi Singer. We need this feeling of healing now. And I know that Cantor Ben David, you're going to close us with some words and music.
These words are so sweet. And one thing they always conjure up for me is that this particular Misha Berach for healing was composed and written for a choir to sing it. So every time I sing it, I imagine and I feel and I can hear, many, many voices. So it's like this. We pray for healing of the body. We pray for healing of the soul, for peace for every race and nation. We pray to once again be whole. El Narifana. Oh, please heal us now. Ripuat HaNefesh, Ritua Haguf, Ripua Shalema. Heal us now, heal us now. Heal us now, heal us now, heal us. And I'm always used to a conductor doing this. Now.